Sup, Catalina? I just got home, but you're, not here?
Hey, Xavier. Me and Gianna just went out for Italian.
Oh, I see.
It feels like forever since I went out for food with my daughter, so we're gonna relax and enjoy it. We won't be rushing back.
Got it.
Oh yeah, you better take a bath before you go trudging your dirt all over my clean carpets and upholstery. The house always gets filthy because you're such a grubby, stinky mess when you get off work. I was scorching hot today. I bet you're sweating like a pedophile in a nursery, aren't you?
It was a hot one. Definitely sweatier than usual.
I knew it. I bet you stink. You can't go walking around the house like that. It's dirty. Hurry up and take a shower. You better not drip sweat in the hallway.
Okay, I'll take one now.
Don't put your laundry in with mine and Gianna's either. Your stinky germs will get all over our nice clothes. You can wash your things yourself by hand in the sink. Do it tonight, please. It grosses Gianna out too. She says she doesn't want herself being washed in the same load as yours anymore.
Jeez, Catalina, would you guys give me a break already? All I did was come home from work.
She's a high school student. What do you expect? They're all like that at her age. You must insist on being a grimy hobo. It's only natural she's gonna hate you.
How am I a grimy Look, I shower every day when I get back from work. Cleanliness is important to me. There are a bunch of women at my workplace. The last thing I want to do is gross anyone out. Believe it or not, I'm really sensitive to that kind of thing. Plus, I use quality deodorants and wear cologne. I'm still human, though. What do you expect me to do about sweating when it's this hot outside?
How can you sweat that much working at City Hall? You're hardly a manual laborer. Your stinkiness defies logic. You're just a rank and file office worker for crying out loud.
I had to do an inspection today, so I spent all day outside. Obviously, I'm gonna sweat.
Why would they have you out for an inspection on day this hot? That's a violation of your human rights.
My human rights are totally unviolated. It's fine. This one's been scheduled for a while. I had to go inspect a new facility that they're building. It's still under construction, so I spent most of the day outside under the scorching sun. It's been a while since I sweat that much. I was out there for hours. It was kind of tough, actually.
You really drew the short straw when you decided to become a civil servant. Why couldn't you have worked harder in school? Meh, it might be a loser job, but I guess I should be pleased with you. Even managed to get that considering you have an IQ of 50.
I think my IQ is probably higher than that. I might not be rich, but it's stable, and things aren't too demanding most days.
It's for losers. You get tossed around by the whims of the government while acting as a punching bag for a public that sees you as a bunch of lazy freeloaders. You basically get spit roasted for barely over minimum wage.
Wow, it's quite the perspective you've got there. I'm not gonna lie, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We have to deal with a lot of claims.
How do you think Gianna feels about her dad being some loser city hall bureaucrat? Yeah, well, my dad has the most boring job of all time. Hardly something she can tell her friends and her head held high, is it? Hopefully, she bags herself a guy more with a little more oomph than you.
I'll have you know I have a lot of oomph. I work very vigorously.
You're a boring old fart with smaller testicles than my grandma. Every girl loves a maverick who takes risks to bring home the bacon. But you? Where's your boldness? Your drive? You're about exciting as a moldy lettuce. Hopefully Gianna ends up marrying a high-energy, high-spec, high-prospect guy from an exciting venture startup or something stable that just doesn't cut it anymore in this day and age. Now is the time for big ballsy moves, for risk and excitement.
I guess the world is changing, and I'd be lying if I said you were completely wrong. Having a stable income is still important.
If Gianna prioritizes stability over drive in a man, she'll end up marrying a boring loser like you. I can't think of a worse fate. I'm living proof of that.
You think I'm boring? Gotta admit, Catalina, that hurts.
Yeah, the truth has a tendency to feel that way. You barely make any money. You're just a lowly city hall worker with no dreams or ambitions.
Times have changed, huh? There was a day when civil servants were looked up to and admired.
This just isn't me saying this, you know. Gianna herself said the last guy she wants to marry is one like you.
Makes me really sad to hear that. I'm doing my best for you guys in my own way. It might not be flashy or glamorous, but I'm really trying here.
Whoa! Want a medal? It's your job to work hard so we can afford nice things. What do you think men are for? Make sure you clean the tub out after your shower. Gianna says she never wants to go within a 10-mile radius of the bathroom after you're done in there.
Understood. What should I do about dinner? Do we have anything in?
There are some cup noodles in the cupboard.
Is that all?
There are yogurts in the fridge. Use your damn brain and figure something out with what we have. You better not eat that meat in there. That's for Gianna's lunchbox tomorrow.
Okay, guess I'll have cup noodles and a yogurt then. What time will you guys be heading back?
Probably sometime around 9. I don't know yet.
Gianna has school tomorrow, so try not to be too late. Enjoy your meal. Hey, I just got back from work. Are you and Gianna eating out again? Wait a sec, did you do a big clean at home? Where did all our stuff go?
Welcome home, Xavier. This might come as a surprise, but me and Gianna won't be coming home again.
What? Excuse me, is my phone bugging out? Did you just say you're not coming home?
Yes, that's exactly what I said, as in we're leaving you.
You're leaving me? Why? Did I do something wrong?
I can't go on like this. That's why me and your daughter are leaving.
Where the hell did this come from? Were you unhappy? Did I do something to upset you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you did. We're your family, but you don't seem to care about us one bit. Go on, admit it. I'm right, aren't I? You couldn't care less about me or your daughter.
No way, I care about you guys more than anything. You're my world. Can you please tell me where this is coming from? Do you have any idea how hard I work for you two?
Yeah, and that's all you do. You spend all your time at City Hall thinking you're king of the pencil pushers while me and your daughter hardly get a look in. I may as well be a single mother. Answer me this. Do you spend any time with us on your days off?
Yeah, sometimes I even take you on holiday. What the hell? This is unfair and you know it.
3 holidays a year? Whoa, well done, Xavier. You're the best dad of all time. Give me a break.
Sure, it's not like we go out to eat all the time or anything, but the only reason I stopped inviting you guys out to stuff is because you kind of seem to hate me lately. I figured if I was just going to annoy you both, I should just keep my distance. It's not like you don't get to eat out. You guys seem to be at a different restaurant every night these days.
The only reason we stopped letting you hang out with us is because you've been acting like such a jerk.
No way. I haven't changed at all. You guys are the ones who are acting different. Come to think of it, something's been off ever since I got back from that short-term work transfer up in Seattle. I was only gone for a month, but when I got back it was like you hated me all of a sudden. You've been distant and blunt with me ever since. I don't even remember the last time we spoke in real life. I didn't do anything to deserve this. I do my best to make sure you guys never want for anything. It's not like I asked for a lot in return, but would it really kill you to be nice to me?
Pitiful. I was hoping you'd admit your wrongdoing, but you're obviously intent on shifting all the blame onto me and your 16-year-old daughter. You sicken me. You don't do your job as a husband, and you don't do your job as a dad. You're 100% at fault here. We'll never forgive you for this.
Catalina, will you just slow down a sec? You're clearly unhappy with how things have been between us, I get that. But don't you think that taking all your stuff and disappearing out the blue is a tad extreme? Why can't we just talk this through?
Talk? We did this because we didn't think you'd be willing to talk to us. Do you have any idea how long I've been putting up with your crap? Do you have any idea how long I've been holding my tongue? What am I saying? You probably don't have a clue. There's only so much of that a person can take. When you keep things bottled up, they end up exploding eventually. Now you're dealing with the fallout of ignoring me for so long.
We could have talked things over if you'd have told me. This is ridiculous. You're not even letting me have a say.
Anyway, there's nothing left for us to discuss now. Divorce is the only option. I hope you're ready to shell out for all the compensation and child support you're gonna owe me.
Wait a sec, what? I get the child support, but why would I pay you compensation?
Because the divorce is your fault. It's only right you should pay for your mistakes.
Get it if I cheated on you or something, but I didn't, and I haven't done anything that would warrant me paying compensation. You can't take me to court because you're unhappy. You think all these baseless claims you're making against me make me a bad person? I did nothing wrong.
You don't get to make that decision. You put me and your daughter through a world of stress and emotional pain. Just because you did it without noticing doesn't mean we suffered any less.
You were stressed. How do you think I felt? Do you think I enjoyed being treated like dirt by my own family? I've seen people treat cockroaches with more humanity than you showed me. I felt like the odd man out in my own home. You never showed me an ounce of gratitude, even when I came home drenched in sweat after breaking my balls all day at the office to put food on the table. Quite the opposite. You told me I stunk, mocked me for being dirty, called me a hobo. My phone contract probably isn't even big enough to fit all the disdainful crap you sent to me in a message. The only one who's been putting up with anything here is me.
Boo-hoo! You can give the sob story a rest now. I think I'm gonna vomit. If you refuse to do this the easy way, then I'm prepared to take drastic measures to get my money. Make no mistake, me and you are now enemies.
Whatever, we at least need to talk first. How can we divorce without talking things through even once?
Good God, Savior, how selfish can you be? You can see how badly I want out, but you still won't accept the divorce? Is it any wonder me or your daughter don't love you anymore?
Xavier, what on earth do you think you're doing, young man? I heard from my daughter and granddaughter what you've been doing to them. This stops now. Hi, Bartolo. Long time no see. You seem pretty mad. Of course I'm mad after what you did. You hurt my poor Catalina and Gianna. Not only that, but I hear you refuse to pay compensation and child support. So that's why you're messaging me. How can you be so heartless? This is your family we're talking about here. You refuse to treat your family with the love they deserve. Divorce my daughter at once. If you don't do what I'll say, I'll have no choice but to unleash the big guns, you son of a bitch. Understood. Okay, I'll divorce her right away. What did you just say? You've done nothing but stubbornly refuse this whole time, and now you're suddenly on board with the idea. Who am I to disobey my father-in-law? I want to make one thing clear here. I will agree to the divorce, but I am not paying a cent of compensation or child support. My God, the insolence. I've never met such a disrespectful young man in my life. Take responsibility for what you've done, coward. Why should I have to pay compensation in the first place? Because you're the one who caused the divorce, you arrogant son of a bitch. Aha, right, here we go again. I'm guessing Catalina's been filling your head with lies. I thought long and hard about all the stuff she said to me. But no matter how I look at it, there's no possible reason I should have to pay compensation. Don't bullshit me, boy. You hurt my daughter and you'll pay. Go on, tell me what she told you. That should be good. She said you neglected your duties as a husband and father. You're always out drinking with your buddies from work and abandoned the two of them to fend for themselves. Then she said when she begged you to spend more time around the house, you shut her down and started mocking her for being clingy and obsessive. I see. So that's the line she's going with. There's just one tiny problem. It's all lies. I guess it's only normal you're mad if your daughter told you that. You know what? I don't even blame you. You probably think she's a decent, honest person. You're suggesting she's not? How dare you? My lovely Catalina wouldn't lie. Let me break things down for you. 1, I don't drink, so I never go out drinking with my buddies. 2, when I get off work, I go straight home, no exceptions. Lies. You're a raging alcoholic. You have problems and you need help, Xavier. My doctor told me I had some liver issues 3 years ago, and I haven't touched a bottle ever since. I do everything I can for my family. I take them both on holiday at least 3 times a year, sometimes more. More lies. My daughter told me you haven't taken her on holiday in 5 years. I have photos from our last one in the Maldives. Want to see? There is something to what you're saying, but not in the way that you think. To tell you the truth, we don't spend much time as a family anymore. I can't even remember the last time we ate out together. Catalina and Gianna seem to be at a different restaurant every night, but I'm never invited. I knew it. You're neglecting them, just like she told me. Wrong. I'm the one being neglected. They basically kicked me out of the family. They barely ever speak to me, and I literally never get invited to anything. If anyone's getting compensation, it should be me. What are you talking about? I work my damn butt off to put food on the table for those two, just like I always have. With Catalina being a stay-at-home housewife and Gianna being in high school, we wouldn't be able to eat or have a roof over our heads if not for all the hours I work. So what, that's your job as the man of the house? It's hardly something to go around bragging about. You know what? I couldn't agree more. But she constantly mocks me for being a public servant because I work at City Hall. She says it's a boring, loser job. Not only her, but Gianna too. Not a day goes by where I don't get some kind of abuse for being an ambitionless loser. When I get home, exhausted after a long day at the office, I'm ordered to take a shower for being a stinky hobo. They never invite me out to eat, despite me being the one footing the bill. I have to make myself cup noodles, despite working full-time and Catalina being a stay-at-home housewife. What is all this? Her version of events is nothing like what my daughter told me. Yeah, because she's giving you a version that suits her in order to manipulate you into doing her bidding. I gave everything I had to make sure my wife and daughter had everything they wanted and needed, and what do I get in return? Divorce. To add insult to injury, she's demanding compensation too. Surely that's just because you weren't doing your job. But let's say, for argument's sake, I wasn't. Don't you think it's strange how she's in such a rush to end things after one-sidedly heaping all the blame on me? We haven't even talked things through, and yet we're already at the divorce stage. I asked her countless times to try talking things over with me, but she wouldn't give me the time of day. Then, before I knew it, her and Gianna had left the house. I guess you must be taking turns, because now apparently it's your turn to go on the assault. How do you think all this makes me feel? Do you still think I'm the bad guy, after hearing everything I just said? Talk is cheap, can you prove it? There is someone who has my back. She said she's willing to speak out for me because she hates the way I'm being put on trial. It's Lisa, Catalina's friend. You know her, right? Lisa? Yes, her and my daughter grew up together. Why would she of all people have your back? She told me Catalina told her the truth about what's actually going on. She told me everything. Apparently the plan was to paint me as the villain so she could pin the fault for the divorce on me and extract as much compensation out of me as possible. Unfortunately for Catalina, Lisa was disgusted with what she was doing and felt awful about what I was going through. That's why she agreed to stand up for me. You and Lisa were in contact. I had her number because she used to come over to the house to see Catalina all the time. I was so confused when Catalina and Gianna pulled their disappearing act. I figured I had nothing to lose by messaging her friends to see if I couldn't get to the bottom of what was going on. That's when she told me about her scheme to paint me as the bad guy. She told me, knowing full well it would probably destroy their friendship, and I'm super grateful for that. Good grief. What on earth is going on here? That's not all. Lisa told me something else. And I want you to listen to what I'm about to say very carefully.
Daddy, listen to this. That scumbag husband of mine isn't even replying to my messages anymore. I bet he's escaping because he's too scared to deal with his problems head on. Don't you think it's pathetic, Daddy? How he's running away with his tail between his legs like this? What a coward!
Shut your mouth, you stupid little girl. How dare you play the saint while trying to paint your poor husband as the villain? The only pathetic coward here is you.
Huh? Daddy, what the hell? Why are you flipping out at me?
Because this was all nothing but one big scheme from start to finish. Xavier was the one being mistreated all along. You worked him to the bone, lived the good life on his dime, manipulated him, treated him like your own personal ATM, and if none of that was bad enough, tossed him aside like a piece of trash when you were done. Then to top it all off, you tried milking him for compensation and deceived your entire family in the process. Your cruel inhumanity is only rivaled by your insatiable greed. You disgust me.
Oh my god, Daddy, stop it! Just wait a second. What the hell's gotten into you? Why are you on his side all of a sudden?
Drop the act, Catalina. Lisa told me everything. You tricked me. You made up a pack of vicious lies to try and pin the blame for everything on Xavier.
Lisa? Lisa told you all this?
She just came over to the house and told me everything. This was all your wicked scheme from the beginning.
No! You've got this all wrong. Please, can you just calm down, Daddy? You know I wouldn't do anything like this. It's not true. You know me. Lisa's lying.
I thought I knew you. Now, I feel like you're a stranger. I'll never believe another word you say. I'll never have your back again for the rest of my days.
Daddy, it's not true. Lisa and Xavier are in this together. They're conspiring to bring me down, I swear.
Can't worm your way out of this one, so you may as well just give up. Your dad's very disappointed with you, Catalina. He says he has nothing more to say to you. Now, first things first, how about me and you finally have that chat?
Xavier, is that you?
Yes.
How long did you get Lisa to tell you? No way, did you threaten my best friend?
Get real. She told me of her own free will.
She did what now?
She said it was playing on her conscience and she felt awful. She told me everything, fully prepared to break things off with you.
Gah! Who the hell do you think you are, you meddling jerk? You've dragged my dad into it? You will pay for this.
What else was I supposed to do? What you were doing to me was horrible. Did you expect me to take it all lying down? No matter which way you look at it, the only one who should be paying anyone compensation here is you. You were cheating on me, weren't you?
So Lisa told you about that too? That bitch!
I hear Loverboy is the CEO of an up-and-coming new venture startup. At least now I know why I seem so boring to you all of a sudden.
Yes, he is! Unlike you, he has dreams and ambitions. Unlike you, he makes me feel alive. He's so rich he drives a Bugatti. He moves more money in a week than you could make in your entire life. Gianna's smitten with him too. She even started calling him dad. She said she doesn't need you anymore. As soon as the divorce is over, me and him are getting married.
Do as you please. I'd rather drag my balls through a mile of broken glass than stay married to you for another second. Let me give you a warning, for old time's sake. It's very rare for a company to make it to the 5-year mark, let alone survive for a whole 10. You should be aware of the possibility that he might not always be the rich, successful wave maker you fell for, and if he does go through a fall from grace, I hope you'll be there to support him at the other end.
What is this crap? Talk about being a sore loser. You're clearly only saying that because you're jealous. Geez, Savior, I knew you were a crusty, boring old fart, but I had no idea you were this much of a cringe lord. I knew divorcing you was the right thing to do.
I never ran a company myself, but I have a lot more life experience than you, which means I know a lot better than you how hard it can be to keep a company afloat, especially with the economy being how it is these days. Lisa told me the name of the company. I can't deny it, it does look like things are going well right now.
Ha! So you do know he's a winner.
Problem is, when I looked at the line of business he's in, his company didn't seem to offer, well, anything that made him stand out from the dozens, if not hundreds, of competitor companies doing the exact same thing. It's a general rule that if a company doesn't bring something new to the table, they go bust within a couple of years.
How the hell would a crusty old city hall pencil pusher like you know that?
Oh, you're right, what do I know? Besides, what do I care what happens to your lover's company? Guess I'm just worried you might not be able to pay me the huge amount of compensation you're going to owe if things do go south for him.
Don't worry about that. He'll pay it for me, no problem. He's so rich, I doubt he'll even feel it.
Oh, I'm glad you finally found the man of your dreams. Just remember the price you had to pay to get him.
The price I had to pay? I haven't lost anything. I'm only set to gain from this. I don't know what you mean.
You lost your dad and your best friend. They both said they want you out of their lives.
Like I care. Why would I want a pair of traitorous backstabbers like them in my life? They can do what the hell they want. I'm done with them.
What are you talking about? They're the ones who are done with you. No matter what happens to you, they won't be there to help.
So what? Do you think I care? I'm about to marry a CEO, you moron. Why would I need their help?
I see. Clearly too selfish and arrogant to reflect on your behavior or apologize. Something tells me you're going to have to learn a few lessons the hard way. Don't expect a lifeboat if you hit an iceberg, because your rescue team just disowned you. Enjoy your thrilling new married life with Action Man. There were obviously no objections from either party, so the divorce was as smooth as could be. I got a hefty sum in compensation from both Catalina and Loverboy. It was determined that I won't have to pay any child support. My quality of life increased massively after getting rid of my scheming wife and hateful daughter, and I'm currently enjoying the hell out of being free and single. I forgot how good life can be when you're not being abused or shouted at 24/7. I read in the newspaper a few months later that Catalina's new husband's company went bust. To tell you the truth, I knew the bankruptcy was a foregone conclusion when I looked into the company around the time of the divorce. But I thought I might seem bitter if I told her exactly how screwed they both were, so I was intentionally vague. Still, I did warn her, if only she had listened. Last I heard, her debt-ridden husband was forcing her and my daughter to work in a strip club to keep on top of his loan repayments. It would appear he's just as much of a waste of space as my ex-wife. Truly, they're a match made in heaven. I'm still Gianna's dad, And when I heard about what was going on, I gave her a call, determined to rescue her from the hell she now found herself in. In a sense, my daughter was a victim from the very beginning. It's only natural that if you're constantly told what a worthless loser your dad is while growing up, part of you might start to believe it. Which is why, unlike her mother, I couldn't bring myself to give up on her. As she got older and began standing on her own 2 feet, she must have gradually realised how toxic and twisted her mum actually is. Because one day she showed up on my doorstep in floods of tears, apologising profusely and begging for forgiveness. I forgave her in a heartbeat and took her in to live with me. Now we live together, just the 2 of us in a small place by the seaside, and we couldn't be happier. Ever since moving in with me, she started helping out around the house with things like dishes and laundry. I think that as she grows up, she's finally coming to understand how tough life can actually be. You know, it's funny. It's almost like we became best friends without even realising it. She's so kind and loving now. It's hard to believe she was so hostile towards me back then. And something tells me that finally being away from her toxic mum is having a healing effect. She's finally becoming the person that she was always meant to be. As for my ex-wife, who's now working several jobs day and night alongside her debt-ridden ex-high-flying husband to keep on top of their eye-watering loan repayments, I suspect she probably wants out. A friend of a friend told me she stupidly agreed to take on some of his debt in her name, which means divorce is no longer an option, and their fates of a slow, painful descent into hell are now tied. She must have reached breaking point, because me, Lisa, and her entire family got a slew of desperate 2 a.m. messages pleading for help the other day. Sadly for her, she'd already burned all her bridges, which means her cries for help were ignored across the board. I got a bunch of messages begging me to take her back. Let's live together as a family again, baby. Just me, you, and Gianna. Can you guess my response? Yeah, ignored. Her desperation soon turned to resentment, and her true colours bubbled up to the surface again when she started attacking me for only helping Gianna. Something tells me she finally understands the price she paid to bag her soon-to-be bankrupt husband back then. It's hard to feel sorry for her though. She mocked and looked down on people who prioritised a stable income over a life of daredevil risk-taking. It just so happens that her life couldn't be any more unstable right now. I'm so happy she got what she wanted.